Welcome back. Opening the vault on Class A too.
Easy for you to say.
Class A and classic Memphis Wrestling.
There you go.
You know, one of the great things about the classic Memphis Wrestling days is the fact that a lot of great talent made their first appearances in the wrestling world here in Memphis.
That's right.
I remember guys like Ricky Gibson. You know, nobody had ever even heard of this young guy, and he comes in here and makes a big name for himself. Another guy that we're going to be seeing here in a minute, Paul Orndorff.
Started right here.
He became, of course, Mr. Perfect, Paul Orndorff. Big, huge mega star, but he had his first matches right here in Memphis, and he was very impressive even in those days.
He was. I remember when he had a very athletic look, and looked like he could come in and then pretty well clean out the dressing room.
Like Jimmy, athletic feet. He had, what?
Let me just tell you something. When Mr. Wonderful finds out that you called him Mr. Perfect instead of Mr. Wonderful, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, you're right. Mr. Perfect was Kurt Hennig. I'm sorry. It was Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful, that's right.
Golly.
How's
Even
he
the
gonna
king
find
makes
out?
a mistake.
Jimmy Hart will tell him that's how he'll
You
find
know
out.
I will.
Oh, yeah, right. He's
Oh, I
way
bet you're
down.
going to call him.
Yeah, he's weighing wherever. And
I'm going to talk to him later on today.
Well, first, before we call him, why don't we take a little look at him in action?
Great.
This was a match between myself and Mr. Wonderful before he was so wonderful, and this footage will prove that.
Beautiful. Be imperfect, too.
Yeah. It's okay with everybody, right?
I checked. The promoter said if Paul Orndorff is the one to decide that he just finished a 6-minute, 10-second match, and Paul says it's okay, bring him on. Okay. Then we have...
Get the camera on me, idiot. Now let me show all you rednecks out there what wrestling is all about. I'm going to show you how long it takes to beat somebody when somebody's really trying to beat them. So you just keep your eyes glued on this.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes glued on it. So a kind of a special match. You can scratch Jimmy Gibbons in there. And bell time. Here we go. Jerry Lawler in there with Paul Orndorff. And you can see that Orndorff, he's the kind of guy, he likes to wrestle clean. He likes to wrestle as a scientific wrestler. The only thing that I question about Paul, he is young, Lawler with a lot of experience. Paul is very strong. He just finished a match. Lawler takes him out and over the shoulder and down. There's that big knee drop right across the what appeared to be the throat to me. Count of one, and Orndorff kicks his way out. Lawler thought he had himself a less than a 1-minute win over Paul Orndorff. And Paul saying something to referee Paul Morton. Orndorff circling him. He wasn't the least bit afraid to climb right in there with Lawler. I'm not certain of the wisdom of doing it. But Lawler back on the ropes. The referee calls for a clean break, and he gets one. Don't tell me you're complaining about that little tap as he pushed himself away, Lawler. Standing side headlock. He takes Orndorff over, but into a conversion to a head scissors for Orndorff. Mr. Lawler not doing too well as a teacher. He was going to teach Orndorff a lesson as to what would happen when somebody wants to beat him in there, and instead of trying to put on a show and impress the girls, as Lawler put it, Orndorff showing him, while he prefers scientific wrestling, he can dish it out just the way that Lawler needs it. Jerry Lawler, though, has tremendous stamina. We've said that 1,000 times, but it's true. He has great durability. And Orndorff, did you see him pick him up right straight up off the floor, Clay? Lawler molding about his tights. You could see it right there at home. A beautiful move and a display of strength that this Orndorff has. Look at Lawler. Flat on his back. Oh, yeah. Paul rolls him down to the canvas, but the ring catches him. And it calls for a break, and break he does. Lawler consulting with his ringside attendant, Mickey Poole. He's probably saying, get the car warmed up. This guy's tougher than I thought. Paul Orndorff staying in. You notice that crouch. Orndorff stays low, ready to move. Lawler now drops on him with that elbow and upper arm. Hammers Orndorff down to the deck. back hard. If Paul can just stay away from a mistake that many young wrestlers make, and that is thinking that he's got Lawler and leaving himself wide open, and on the break, Lawler tapped him, and Orndorff right back, out of way. Orndorff has been breaking clean. Lawler couldn't seem way clear to doing that. And he pounds Lawler right back after Lawler had hit him on the ropes. Paul Orndorff on the left, Jerry Lawler on the right. Paul Morton, the referee. Lawler a little cautious. He has a perplexed look on his face, too. I think he thought because of the inexperience of Orndorff that it was going to be a snap. Oh, man, oh, man. Now, there's the typical Lawlerism. Lawler slams him into that turnbuckle. Nails him hard with a right hand, the referee warning him about the fist. Oh, man, oh, man. Almost put him out. He wheeled him into the ropes. And he caught Orndorff coming off with that foot. Paul in deep trouble now, deep trouble. Lawler goes to the ropes, typical Lawler fashion. Orndorff manages to get out of the way. Rolls him up, 1, 2, 3, he got him. How about that? Jerry Lawler, count of 3, no sir Lawler, a count of 3. Jerry Lawler furious in there as Paul Orndorff was, come on Lawler. Orndorff was in trouble. Lawler picks him up. Pile drives him in there. All right, now that's enough of that. Come on, Paul, get him separated in there. Lawler, come on, Lawler. Nails Paul Orndorff after a pile driver. And Lawler goes right at him with that chair. Get him, come on. Can we get somebody out here? Yeah. Here comes Ron Fuller out here. Get rid of this guy.
Wow.
Well, that's quite a finish there.
I
huh?
think that he wasn't looking quite so wonderful when he's being carried out on the stretcher.
I agree.
You know what, King? You're the one that started those neck injuries back here in Memphis, Tennessee. And by the way, guess who's on the phone right now? Hey, Mr. Wonderful, can you hear us?
Hey, Jimmy Hart, how you doing? Well, I tell you what, I've been hearing and seeing and people calling me. You're doing a great job up there in Memphis, especially at Memphis Classic Wrestling. Jimmy, if you could tell Corey Macklin and Dave Brown and my old good buddy Jerry Lawler, I said hello. You know, it wasn't that long ago, I guess, 22 years ago, that my first territory and my first match that I ever had was in Memphis, Tennessee. And, you know, the things you don't forget is your first and your last place. And that was my first, and had a lot of fans there and everything. And I'll never forget that, you know, that I was just starting in this, and the fans were kind of taken to me. And I'll never forget old Eddie Marlin one time said, called me into the room and said, Paul, if you don't start putting some fire and vinegar in this thing out here, you know, we're going to have to let you go. Well, it was the next night, and I thought it was like a lightning rod that hit me, and boom, there I was. I was going nuts, and I had so much of being aggressive and vicious and everything that the people loved me, and Jerry Lawler didn't like it, right? Well, that was when I first got my first injury. And I had Jerry Lawler, I'd had a match, and Jerry Lawler had challenged me the same show to have a match with him. Well, Don Paul, I did it, and, you know, I went out there, and Lord and behold, I beat him in 2 minutes. And the people just went crazy. I turned my back. I ended up in the hospital for 2 days. Well, Lawler, I want to say something. You know, I hadn't been able to get back at you for what you did, but if I ever get a chance, Jimmy Hart, you could help me on this. Set it up with me and Lawler. I would like to come back home again. It's something special to me. Well, listen, I got to go, buddy. All you fans out there, you know, write letters and call in and everything about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and I'll be there. Talk to you later, Jimmy. Bye.